Now, we do begin with that big breaking news tonight. A mistrial declared late today in the Vanderbilt rape case.
The news comes after a hearing to determine whether the jury foreman lied to prosecutors about his past. Chris Conti has been following the latest developments in this case. Chris, what's next for former Vanderbilt football players Corey Beatty and Brandon Vandenberg?
Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, Vicki, there will be a hearing to decide if both men should be let out on their original bond. This ruling has major sweeping implications, as now the young woman Vandenberg and Beatty raped could possibly have to sit through another grueling trial. Even though there was video evidence, even though there were texts and witnesses, even though a 12-person jury found them guilty of rape, Brandon Vandenberg and Corey Beatty are now no longer bound by that verdict.
Anyone who is on trial for a criminal charge in the United States of America is entitled to 12, not 11, impartial jurors.
Nick Leonardo is News Channel 5's legal analyst. He's never seen a case like this or a mistrial declaration like this.
As attorneys, we want to ensure that the people who sit on this jury are the right people and can be fair and impartial.
Impartiality, a judge ruled today, that wasn't there. After it came to light, the jury foreman Todd Easter had been a victim of rape but failed to disclose that information while under oath.
His involvement as a victim in a case that is wholly analogous to the case which we were on trial for makes him an unfit individual to be a part of this particular jury.
The case gained national attention after Vandenberg and Beatty, two star Vandy football players, were found guilty of raping a female student in their dorm room and taping it. Late today, though, that verdict was thrown out and a mistrial granted.
It's a devastating blow, but I will say that it's not the district attorney's fault, it's not the defense team's fault, and it's not the court's fault.
All rise.
No longer bound by a verdict of guilt, though, as this rape case, which has rocked this university to its core, isn't over.
To ensure that both sides get a fair trial. And you can't do that if people aren't telling the truth.
As for that jury foreman, Todd Easter, he could possibly be facing penalty perjury charges for lying under oath. And the burden of this mistrial being declared now rests solely on his shoulders alone. Todd Easter, the jury foreman, was mentioned in the judge's ruling today. Judge Monte Watkins saying, quote, by failing to disclose being named the victim in a 23-count statutory rape indictment, the presumption of juror bias was met. And just moments after the judge's ruling was handed down, this powerful statement from District Attorney Glenn Funk saying, quote, this office will be requesting that a new trial date be set as soon as possible. This ruling does not in any way affect the evidence that exists, nor does it affect the state's resolve to vigorously pursue justice in this matter. And so as hard as it is to believe this evening, it appears we are headed for another trial. We are live at Vanderbilt University's campus this evening. Chris Conti, News Channel 5 HD.
Thanks so much, Chris. And we've just received a statement from Metro Police.
Yeah, Chief Steve Anderson says, quote, the resolve of the Metropolitan Police Department to seek justice on behalf of the courageous victim in this case is as strong today as when the investigation began. Lead detectives, along with the men and women of the police department who supported them, will absolutely be prepared to again present their findings.
And keep it right here on News Channel 5 for all the latest developments in the Vanderbilt rape case. We'll bring you coverage both here on air and online at newschannel5.com.